Hello, man. Welcome. I want to welcome everybody to inside the Urban Studios, man. The Urban Mind Studios with your host Harry J. Hicks, man. It's another episode of the Urban Minds podcast. Today, man, we're going to talk a little bit about. We're going to look at a little quick clip of Dr. Umar Johnson, man. I know a lot of you may have heard of him. Those of you that don't, man, very controversial. You know what I mean? You either love him or hate him. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those people, man. You know what I'm saying? But he's giving us the truth as he see it. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna get into a little quick clip, excuse me, of Dr. Umar. I'm gonna analyze it a little bit, but I just want to say, man, I want to thank all my supporters, man, for holding me down, man. The Urban Minds podcast. All I'm saying is hashtag support the movement. That's the new hashtag for the Urban Minds podcast. Hashtag whatever you see, hashtag support the movement on my page or whatever. Just know that, man, it's in support of the Urban Minds podcast. And remember, you can donate whatever, man, whether it's $1, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you can donate, if you can donate monetarily, you can hit up the Cash App, man, at jbills1976. If also you can hit up PayPal at h.hicks1976. And I got a new Patreon site, man. You can go to my patreon.com and just look for Harry J. Hicks. And you see me on there. I have some clips on there from my podcast. I'm advertising my books. All novels written by Jay Hicks, as well as my clothing, man, my clothing store, custom clothing by Jay. So, man, just check that out. You know what I mean? Support me the best way you can, whether you just like, share, and comment on the videos. You know what I'm saying? That's still support. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all, and I thank y'all. I thank all my donators so far, man. And those of you that want to donate, like I said, you can hit me up on the Cash App at jbills1976 or at PayPal at h.hicks1976. And remember, love and peace always. But let's get into a quick little bit of this video, man.
Was birthed in that slave dungeon in West Africa.
You know that man. Hey man, that sounds like a Black Panther, the Purple Orb. Ancestral
I'm
flame.
the comic book of it though.
You got to.
Yeah.
You got to. And here I thought, you got like done by a white girl in third grade or something.
Ooh, no.
Yeah, no. It's
no bunnies.
Yeah.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
Yeah, I thought it was a traumatic moment that happened back in the. So man, that's amazing. So let's start with this, and we're gonna be jumping all over the place, but they always say for the Black American, the African American who's born in America, won't you go back to Africa? That's what they always say. Won't you go back home? And they be like, well, I never been there. What would you prescribe that every person, Black person of melanated skin, go travel to Africa, and if so, where? Based on where you've been.
Great question. Would I recommend that every African in the diaspora travel to Africa? I'm glad you said travel, because I thought you were going to say immigrate or relocate. Travel, yes, so you can know who you are and where you come from. Connect with your roots, because that's spiritually necessary, that's psychologically necessary, that's politically necessary, that's socially necessary. Now, if you would have said immigrate, I would have said no, because as the Right Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said, I have no intention of taking all of you back to Africa. Some of you are no good in America, so you damn well will be no good in Africa. And I'm of the same way. We don't need bunny hoppers in Africa. We don't need basketballs and footballs in Africa. You understand? We don't need to be taking no problems there. You go there, you go to solve problems, not to create them. You know what I mean? So Garvey never led a back to Africa movement. That's what the white man called it. When people hear the word Pan-Africanism, they say, oh, they want to take everybody back. We never believed in that. And I don't believe in it now. Only those who want to go and have something that they can contribute to the rebuilding of Africa should go back to Africa. You understand? Now, to what you said in the beginning there, the whole world is the kingdom of Africa, because we're the first people to circumnavigate the planet. We're the first Europeans. We're the first Asians. We're the first Americans. We're the first everything. We was on every continent before anybody else ever evolved. If you dig long enough, you're going to find Black folks everywhere in the beginning. So the whole world is the kingdom of Africa, but the continent is the royal palace.
Now, that phase you went through, I won't even say phase, that what you went through when you went to West Africa.
Yes, sir.
Is that something you think every Black person can experience, or do you have to be chosen to go through that?
That's a great question. I'm going to look at it a couple different ways.
Yes.
To begin with, in many African spiritual systems, women black women are born with the spiritual capacity to access other dimensions. They born with it, right? Mm-hmm. So the African woman is slightly more spiritual than us in that she's born with that energy. We have to be initiated and trained into it, right? So that's one part of my answer. Here's the other part. It depends on how spiritually ready you are. Here's one of the laws of spirit, right? Your ancestors might want you to go to Africa and go through exactly what Dr. Umar went through to open you up spiritually, right? But are you psychologically ready to receive that truth? Listen, I was born and raised Muslim. That indoctrination was heavy, right? So even after I went through that awakening inside of Goree Island, I still had to deal with some of the indoctrination of Islam that taught me that anything that was beyond the realms of the Quran was not divine. You follow me? And I'm a conscious brother, and I still had to work through it. You see what I'm saying? So remember, spirit will only give you what you can handle. They might want to give you the world, but if you are not psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually prepared to be opened up, it will harm you, and therefore they won't bring it to you. So when you hear that saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That is exactly the truth when it comes to ancestral awakening. They're only going to come to you if you're ready to receive them. And that night in that hotel room, I don't think I was ready to receive them, but they made me ready because they wasn't letting me out the room. You feel me? And they came so hard that I could not ignore what I've been through. In other words, had I dreamt that, if that was a dream, I would have reasoned it away. You follow what I'm saying? They had to get me awake, sitting up on my bed, because anything else, I would have dismissed it as some sort of random dream. So they got me when I was awake because they needed to make sure I accepted it.
That's real. I'm curious, what did you think of the Black Panther movie?
The Black Panther movie, shout out to Ryan Coogler, and of course he has a black woman. Cinematography, excellent. 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 Now let's deal with the content.
Yeah, that's all.
The cinematography is one thing. Content is something else. I got issues with the content in Black Panther. Why? Killmonger, which I believe was Dr. Umar plagiarized, because in that movie, next time you watch Black Panther, you're going to hear Killmonger say things that I've said verbatim. Verbatim. I saw at least 4 comments out of Michael B. Jordan's mouth that I've said verbatim.
Damn.
So they took me and made me into Killmonger.
Can you give us maybe one of those?
Yes, indeed. When he said there's 2 million people all around the world who look exactly like us and we're not doing nothing for them. Who the fuck you ever hear say that but King Kong? And I can give you more than that. They took me and made me him. There was another action thing that just came out. They had my whole hair. Of course, I cut it now. Had my hair, beard. It was the three women. It was a black sister and 2 white girls.
I forget.
It was, you know what I'm talking about?
Exactly what you're talking about, yes.
They had me in there. And everybody texted me for the doc. They got you in here. You look just like me saying my shit in there. You know, but stay with me. Stay with me. So with Black Panther with the content, Killmonger was the metaphorical woke black man in America who knows everything but doesn't respect African culture. The message in Killmonger to Africa was, don't let these woke Negroes over there. Yeah, they read all the books and they know all the history, but they don't respect African culture. They've been Europeanized and they filled with hatred, like Killmonger. If you let Black America come back to Africa, they will destroy your society. There was coded messages in Black Panther for different African populations around the world. Now let's look at Prince T'Challa, right? Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. His character, the Black Panther, was what? Selfish, stingy. He was a nationalist, but he wasn't a Pan-Africanist. He didn't care about black people outside of Wakanda. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when Lupita kept trying to get him to go help? She said, we got everything in Wakanda. Let's go help our brothers and sisters in America. Prince T'Challa said, we don't give a damn about them.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? So that was a message to Black America that Africa don't want your ass. Y'all can keep wearing dashikis and changing your name and getting locks. They don't want you. So the messages, I think, were very damaging and destructive to the aspirations of Black people on both sides of the water. And let's be clear, this was not a coincidence. Black Panther came out in 2017, was it? 2018?
2018, I want to say.
What was the very next year after Black Panther came out? The Year of Return. 1619 to 2019. 400 years of African people in the diaspora relocated from slavery. Are you going to tell me it's a coincidence that you bring a movie out? You bring a movie out the year before the quadricentennial of black slavery. You bring a movie out that tells Africans black Americans are no good for you, and tell black Americans Africans are no good for you. Look at this now. Killmonger is the metaphorical black man in America. Prince T'Challa, the metaphorical black man in Africa. You don't want to be bothered with him, and you don't want to be bothered with him. Now let's bring it home. CIA agent Ross, remember the white boy?
Yep.
At the end of the day, he flies the plane in. He really saves the day. Can I ask y'all a question? How can a CIA agent be a hero in an African movie when the CIA assassinated every major black leader we had in America, Africa, Central South America, and the Caribbean? They got Maurice Bishop assassinated. They was implicated in Walter Rodney. They got Malcolm killed, King killed. They the ones who got Garvey thrown out of America. They the ones who had Patrice Lumumba assassinated. They helped Nelson Mandela get arrested. The CIA destroyed the Black Liberation Movement. And you mean to tell me you got a Black Panther movie with an organization responsible for killing every major black leader saves the fucking day? Now, listen, Congress, U.S. Congress, they have a committee for Hollywood. Guess what the job, I forget the name of it, but there's a congressional committee who oversees the movies that come out of Hollywood. And what do we know about the congressional committee? They will pay your movie studio to put content, characters, themes, and storylines in your movie that are favorable to American foreign policy. You're not going to tell me the FBI. Ryan Coogler cannot tell me that the FBI didn't have their fingerprints on Black Panther. Because the storyline...
Yeah, man, I'm going to thank y'all, man. Like I said, we'll be doing this, man, more often. You know what I mean? Keeping y'all in the know, man. Keeping my people in the know, the urban community of, and y'all can always like, share. Make sure y'all comment, man. Comment on how y'all feel. Don't just look at it and be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Because that's our problem, especially as a people. We look at something, we know that it's pertaining, it's good content, something that we should know, something that we should, keep circulating, but we'll just go by it. But anything else, the hip hop gossip, we'll comment. Everybody got something to say. But anyway, man, that was a little piece on Dr. Umar. I'm going to be doing that from time to time, man. And this get yourself involved in the conversation, because that's the only way we're gonna make change, man. Is we, like I'm saying, like as people, start talking about some of the issues that we really don't want to talk about, or don't want to be heard, because that's how they shut us down all the time. As you see, when it's a message coming out that we trying to speak and we trying to uplift our people. You know what I'm saying? Not only our people, man, it's the world. You know what I mean? Anybody that's willing to accept the messages, whether you black, white, Indian, Puerto Rican, whatever. You know what I mean? Like this. That's what it is, man. We just trying to spread the word, man, of what's going on within our community as well as the world. You know what I'm saying? And the propaganda that's always being put out there. You know what I mean? And like I say, man, you can always tune in to me, man. The Urban Minds Podcast. This is your host, Harry J. Hicks, man. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. Rest of y'all night. You know what I mean? And remember, man, love and peace always. Peace.